What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Cornelia, back with another episode of Black News, a podcast where we break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. Now let's get into it. We are literally today, the day that I'm recording this podcast, celebrating the 1-year anniversary of Fade in the Water. Fade in the Water happened 1 year ago today on a quiet dock in Montgomery, Alabama. Boat riders were minding their own business. A man was moseying along at work when some unruly patrons decided to cause a scene, which led to Black people coming together and forming Voltron and rising up against years of oppression, years of disrespect, years of history, Southern history, and whooped on any and everybody that was standing in their way. Fade in the Water 1 year anniversary and 1 year anniversary. That was a good time. And because I was gonna pull up some old clips of Fade in the Water, but I don't have access to my old archives. But you remember I went in on Black News about it. Because it was a moment that caused us to come together as a collective. There are certain moments within Black culture that bring us together as one. Certain things like the BET Awards, watching the BET Awards bring us together because we all talking about the same thing. Scandal brought us together as a family. Fade in the Water brought us together as a family. Barack Obama getting elected the first time brought us together as a family. Remember, what's the girl name who lied and said she got kidnapped and said it was a baby running down the freeway? What was her name? I forget her name. Last year, she brought us together as a family. Y'all, Fade in the Water was a good time. Again, if y'all don't remember, this was when there was a scrap that happened on the dock in Montgomery, Alabama. A Black man threw his hat in the air, and then that triggered all of the Black people in surrounding areas to come. One little boy jumped off the boat, swam across in alligator-infested water, and proceeded to whoop up on everybody in sight. He even body slammed somebody. The boy had to be about 17. He had to weigh about 145. He ain't weigh nothing more than $145. He body slammed a grown man onto the wooden platform. Not to say I don't, that we condone, because I don't condone violence. Okay? I don't condone violence. But they was boxing out there. The most notable and scary moment, because y'all remember, I thought that I could have swore that man was going to jail. That man hit that lady in the head with the folding chair. Remember that? I literally remember seeing that and saying, okay, he's going to the slammer. He had to do that. Okay, you're taking it too far now. A folding chair. Okay, we draw enough. Okay, all right, fight's over. All right, okay. The folding chair. Okay, but now the folding chair it's a symbol. So here we are. Again, we don't condone violence on Black News Podcast. I'm just bringing it up because that's what we're talking about. But what are you all doing to commemorate the 1 year anniversary of Fade in the Water? Are you having a cookout? Did you put a little something on the grill? Did you just, reminisce and remember the time? What did you do? Personally, I forgot about it until I got on social media. I logged into Twitter and I was like, oh, shoot, it's the 1 year anniversary of Fade in the Water. But started going down memory lane and remembered. So let me know your thoughts about it. Is this the new Black official holiday? Let me know. You can find me at Cornelia on social media. Child, I am all in on these Olympic Games. I said this last week, and I'm going to say it again. I am tuned in. The Peacock app been locked and loaded. I've been getting my little $6 or however much the Peacock app, low key, I'd be raising prices. That thing probably $15 by now. I ain't even checked the dang automatic deposit. Peacock probably $42 a month at this point. But hey, take the money. When the game's over, I'm shutting it down anyway. Take my little money. I've been using my membership, okay? My subscription has been getting used up. I've been locked and loaded on this Peacock app, and they doing a big one with this Olympic coverage. If y'all don't have the Peacock app, I don't know how y'all tuning in. Are y'all watching it on like regular cable? I think they've been showing the games on NBC, E, and one other network, but that ain't round the clock. We've been watching, y'all. And this, I don't have no stake in Peacock. They are not a sponsor of anything. Again, I'm jumping ship once this is over. But literally on the Peacock app, they have live stream coverage, like around the clock. And it's not completely around the clock because they be going to bed in Paris. So, but they have other replays and things on when the games are not active, if that makes sense. But you can watch specific channels based on the sport you like. You can watch replays. You can watch individual like types of clips. They even have a section where you can watch people getting medaled on the podium. They have a screen, a view where you can watch 4 sports at a time, like the multi view. Child, they doing they big. I'm at home with a flag blanket on. I don't actually own a flag blanket, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, red, white, and blue. So a few updates because we talked about the Olympics last week, and because there aren't many things going on in Black news besides us diligently working to get a Black woman into the Oval Office. Okay, that's always going to be pertinent and important. The only thing Black been going on is sports, and I love it. So, few things that's been going on with the Olympic Games. The women Olympians have been carrying the United States on their back in the medal race. I'ma just say that up front. Women in sports have been doing their thing and literally carrying the states on their back. Late last week, I believe the stat was at that time, the only individual gold medals for the United States were won by women. Let me say it again. And that's probably have changed, of course, because no allows one, and we're going to get into that. But at one point in time, and this, we ain't talking about the first day, we talking about it was a couple days in, the only individual gold medals that were won by the United States were earned and won by women. That's crazy. But at this time that I'm recording the podcast, the United States is leading in the medal count. I believe we got about 79 or 80-ish medals in total, gold, silver, and bronze. But specifically as it relates to this podcast, we're going to talk about a few people who've been killing it, rightfully so. Simone Biles. I know I've talked about her before, but this is an update. Simone Biles is still officially the most decorated gymnast in the history of gymnasts. Her most recent winnings, not only in the 2024 Paris Olympic Games does she have the team all-around gold medal that she won alongside her teammates, she also has the individual all-around gold. She has the vault individual gold, and she has the floor individual silver. She was also in the race with the balance beam, but our good sis fell off the beam and she placed, I believe, 5th. That's fine. Give these other people a chance. They was pissed. Hey, they pissed. Give somebody else. Let them win. That's fine. But she could have had another one if she didn't fall. And low key, I'm not, no disrespect to nobody, but I watched her do that floor routine because it's the same floor routine, the one she got the silver for. And a part of me wonders if she was going easy because of the other girls within the competition. Not to say that people ain't earn it, but I was looking and I was wondering, is she letting up a little bit for a reason? Okay, but with that, there is a young Black woman, an Afro-Brazilian, Rebecca, I can't pronounce her name, Andrade. I believe it, beautiful young girl from Brazil. She is a gymnast. Y'all, she been killing it. I don't know why I feel like I haven't. I know she been in gymnastics for a long time. I know she has been competing, and I know she was at the past Olympics and the World Championships. But for some reason, she just feels so new to me. But this young girl is literally number two right behind Simone Biles. Simone said in the press conference that she is getting exhausted and she's starting to feel a little anxious and nervous because Rebecca is so good and she hasn't had competition this close to her in a long time. And she was like, "Yo, I'm stressed. I don't want to do this no more." Child, Rebecca about to have Simone out the game. Now, I will say this. Maybe this is the competitor in me. For me, I ain't letting nobody come on the come up. I'm gonna keep going because I need to let y'all know that ain't nobody gonna overtake me. That's just me. And also, I'm not an older gymnast because even though Simone Biles is only 27 years old, in the world of gymnastics, she's old. And all of that tumbling and landing hard is very hard on the body. So for her to keep doing it past this, it'd be great to see, but she probably physically can't keep going like that. But back to Rebecca. Rebecca was again on the Brazilian team. I believe the Brazilian team won the all around team bronze. Rebecca won the silver on vault. She won the gold on floor. There was a beautiful moment at the medal ceremony with Rebecca, Simone, and Jordan Childs. Jordan, by the way, won the individual bronze in the floor exercise after the judges skimmed her a point. Her coaches went to the judges and told them to review a certain move because the difficulty was off. Child, when they looked at the scores, they bumped her up by like a point zero one. Child, that bumped her up to the bronze. Jordan Charleston got her a bronze medal, child, and we love us some Jordan Charles because she just does seem like a cool young woman. But again, there was a podium moment where Rebecca was getting the gold medal and Simone and Jordan were on the side of her and they kind of bowed down. And when Rebecca took the podium in her first place position, and it was just a beautiful moment. And to mention, that was the first time in Olympic history that there has been an all Black woman podium. First time we had a gold, silver, and bronze medal position by Black women. So the game and the sport of gymnastics is changing for the better. These three young girls are the perfect torch carriers to the next level because, it's a journey. We had Dominique Dawes. Dominique walked so Gabby Douglas could run. Gabby Douglas was the first Black woman to win an individual all-around gold medal at the Olympics. After Gabby, we had Simone Biles. We have people like Rebecca Andrade, and we have Jordan Childs, people like that. And then we have a generation coming after that. So I'm really excited about this whole thing. But again, women holding we carrying the USA Olympic gold medals on our back. Also, shout out to Brazil because I was on Twitter today and people were confused because they were calling Rebecca Black, like a Black woman. And to come to find out, a lot of people did not know that the majority of the Brazilian population are Afro-Brazilian. The largest population of Black people outside of the continent of Africa is in Brazil. People assumed that it was in the United States. But baby, we only 13% of the population here. The Black population in Brazil is over 50. I believe they about 54%. Still a lot of racial discrimination, apparently. Still a lot of, they still struggling over there. They still going through it. Still lack respect. I even was looking up, because I want to go to visit Brazil. I was looking up like Black history tours and Black history things to do in Brazil. Child, very minimal experience, very minimal opportunities to do like Black specific stuff. So I don't know what's going on over Brazil, but I feel like our brothers and sisters may be going through it. So even more of a shout out to Rebecca. An honorable mention goes to Suni Lee. We love us some Suni Lee, another Olympic United States gymnast. Suni be doing her thing. Last Olympics in where was it? Why am I having a blank? Tokyo? Was it Tokyo? Suni was actually the gold medalist for the individual all around. And I did not know or realize that Suni was battling kidney disease and was struggling and didn't get to begin workouts this year until January. So you talk about overcoming. This Olympic team has overcome them obstacles. But Suni, she took bronze, I believe, in the was it the uneven bars? I forget which one is that Suni won, but Suni got hers. Everybody on the women's Olympic gymnastics team have won individual medals. So kudos to them. Let's move on to track and field, though, the main event. I love me some track and field. And I think, and not just because I ran track for like 3 years. And, like we all like to be like, I used to do this back and I used to hoop back in the day. I feel like I played every sport known that was in high school except middle school and high school except softball. But track and field holds a special place in my heart. Mainly because, you know, we all like to sit on the couch and be like, oh, I could have done that. I feel like if I would have had the right coach or just the right encouragement from parents, I could have at least finished high school. But I did get injured, had a hip injury. High school track coaches, child, they don't even be real coaches. They just be some dude with free time who be like, oh, yeah, our coach. Our coach was the worst. So I had a hip injury the whole time. Again, was running hurdles, tore my knee up. Knee still tore up to this day. However, with that said again, because track and field holds such a special place in my heart, it is one of my most favorite times or events throughout the entire Olympic season. So with that, let's just get into it. Women's track. Sha'Carri Wilson. Not with what? Sha'Carri Richardson. Child, who is Sha'Carri Wilson? Who is Sha'Carri Wilson? Sha'Carri Richardson. This is Sha'Carri's first time at the Olympics. Remember the Tokyo Games? She was supposed to go, but then tested positive for marijuana. They kicked her out. She was on a redemption tour, was running her race, getting better and stronger, won the 100-meter gold at the World Championships, and she was coming to the Olympic Games with a point to prove. So we waiting. She also, to note, did not qualify for the 200 meters. She was running in addition to that, just trying to see if she can do the two races. If you watch the Netflix docuseries Sprint, it goes into detail about that. But she only qualified for the 100 meters and the relay, of course. So this was her only opportunity. Sha'Carri went out there, got silver, which is fantastic, especially it's your first time out. You don't know what to expect. She still apparently has some things to work on because her start ain't the best. But child, this woman from St. Lucia, Julian Alfred, literally feel like she came out of nowhere and won the gold medal in the 100-meter dash. She's the first Olympian from St. Lucia to win the gold medal. Sis did her thing. Now they're saying she might win the gold in the 200, but then you got Gabby in there. Hey, red, white, and blue, baby. So a lot of people were talking a lot about, the Sha'Carri race, and you got people who ain't never ran nothing. They can't even carry the groceries up from the car without being winded, talking shit about her winning the silver medal, which is crazy because first, second, and third, you are still the first, second, and third best person in the world. So I'm proud of Sha'Carri. I know she gonna be on another redemption tour and she gonna make her way back. And I know that 100 meters, the 100-meter relay, they ain't gonna be messing around. You got our girl TT Terry up in there too. If you know TT Terry be coming through. But that's just one race. Black women been killing it in track and field. There was a woman from Dominica who was the first Black woman in I forget how many years. I forget the specific stat. Child, she won for the triple jump. There were 3 Black women who won first, second, and third place for the triple jump. We still got the 200 meters that's coming up with Gabby Thompson. I'm messing up the last names, but y'all know Gabby. Our girl Gabby went to Harvard. We got the 400. We got the 400 hurdles. We stacked. We got a whole week worth of track and field. But the thing that we won't be seeing are Shelly Ann Fraser Price and Sharika Jackson, the 2 Jamaican sprinters running this year. Both of them dropped out, which was a complete bombshell and unexpected. So, backstory: Sharika Jackson is the reigning 100 and 200 meter champion, the Olympic champion, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all, sometimes these stats wrong. I ain't have my Google going on. My computer being slow. But she, ahead of the game, she dropped out of the 100. Now, the 200 meters is her specialty. She was now doing the 100 as well. She dropped out. No explanation. Don't nobody know if she hurt. Don't nobody know what's going on. Ain't nobody saying nothing. She just saying she gonna focus on the 200. Then maybe a couple days later, at the Olympics day in Paris, Sharika Jackson drops out the 200. No information, no update. We don't got to know if she injured, nothing. So already the track community is tripping because literally we wanted to see the showdown between Sharika and Sha'Carri. We also want to see the showdown between Sharika and Shelly Ann Fraser Price, which is the queen of the track. Shelly Ann Fraser Price, as y'all know, was a sprinter. She has been sprinting since 2008 or 12-ish. Won gold, silver, you name it, Shelly Ann has it. But ahead of the semifinals for the 100-meter dash at the Olympics, she's already in Tokyo, did fantastic in the first round, dropped out the 100-meter. No injury update. She gave a statement on Instagram. It didn't really give no information, but the backstory was, and this is what's floating around. It hasn't been confirmed yet. And if this is the case, the Olympic Committee gonna get their ass tore up for this. Apparently, there was a rule change overnight that affected which entrance the track, the runners were supposed to go into. Now, because Shelly Ann and Sha'Carri are bigger stars than some of the Olympians, they did not stay in the Olympic Village with a lot of other people. So they did not arrive on buses, the same buses that everybody arrived on, it seems like that's where the information about the change was communicated. So Sha'Carri and Shelly Ann arrived to the gate that they used the day before and were not let in, allegedly. Allegedly, they then had to walk all the way around, which was, I think somebody said it was like over a mile around to get into the venue. They did not have time to warm up. So they had to potentially race cold. Shelly Ann didn't even go through the motions. She dropped out. This is again allegedly, and we haven't gotten reports, but this is what they're saying. Shelly Ann was like, nah, I ain't gonna be able to do it, baby. I got to drop out. Which is a shame because this was her last Olympic Games, and we were really looking forward to seeing Shelly Ann run that last race. Sha'Carri went in and she ran the race. Apparently, allegedly, she ran it cold. She got, I believe, second in the semis, made it to the final rounds. But it sounds like the rule change affected both of those women's performance, and people are saying that their performance, and Sha'Carri's in particular, was affected by the fact that she did not get to warm up. So if she got a silver medal with no warm up, that's even more spectacular. Again, this is allegedly. We don't know. Hopefully we find out more information. But if that is the case and the Olympic Committee did do something like that, when you had the biggest track star right now on in Paris who was affected by that rule change and had to drop out, somebody gonna pay. Boy, they gonna get in trouble. It's also doodle in that river water and people got sick because they were swimming in that river. But again, this is the Olympics. You show up, you don't know what to expect. You gotta be ready for whatever. Now, with that in mind, that always prompted me, that not always, but that kind of prompted me to think about some of my favorite track girlies. Because, I just have been a fan for so long. So in no particular order, some of my favorite track girlies have been the legendary FloJo, Gail Devers, Shelly Ann Fraser Price, Carmelita Jeter, Allison Felix, Sandra Richards Ross, Jackie Joyner Kersey. She's one of my favorites. Sha'Carri is one of my favorites. I just love how bold she is, and she has no hesitancy to be herself. And those are some of them. So again, wanted to just throw that out there before we get into Noah Lyles. Child, Noah Lyles won the 100-meter men's Olympic gold medal. He is a 200-meter master. He shifted down to the 100 meters in addition to doing 200 meters. So this is his first time running the 100 at the Olympics, if I'm not mistaken. He talks shit. Noah Lyles got the biggest mouth in track and field, which is typical for track athletes, for sprinters. They talk a big game. But Noah came out there and backed it up. It was a nail biter. It was like 7 people across the finish line at the same time. Noah Lyles won by like 0.005 seconds, literally because his collarbone got across the finish line before Keishane, who is a Jamaican sprinter. So shout out to Noah Lyles, the king of sprinting. If he pull off the 200 meters and wins the gold, he will officially never be quiet, which I love it. If you're going to talk it, you got to be able to back it up. So with all of that, what have you all been tuned into for the Olympic Games? Are you as excited as I am? We still got men's basketball left. We still got women's basketball left. They should be wrapping up their medal rounds by the end of the week, so we'll know who's doing that. The black woman I mentioned who's fencing, child, they had another fencing medal, so sis walking home with 2 medals. We have so many other aspects of the games that are still going, and we still got more black people that's competing. So I'm going to keep my eye on it and keep y'all updated. But if you got a favorite or something I need to look out for, let me know. Hit me up. You can find me at Cornelia on social media. On this week's episode of Black News, we talked about the 1-year anniversary of Fade in the Water, the Montgomery, Alabama brawl that happened this day last year. We also talked about the Black Olympians and the current winners as of this moment in time. Hit me up and let me know your thoughts about all of these topics, some or none, and I'll check back with you guys next time. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thanks again for supporting the podcast by sharing, liking, subscribing, and rating 5 stars on your favorite podcast app. To find more information about me, you can check me out at Cornelia on social media, as well as on my website, which is cornelia.com. And as always, thanks for supporting, and I'll be back next week with new topics and a new episode.